I had known Ayan since school days, the kind of friend who never let you face life alone. His house was like my second home. His mother, Mrs. Sana, was always kind, warm, and quietly graceful. She wasn't just my friend's mom, she was someone who carried a calm strength, the kind you notice only when life gets loud. That afternoon was ordinary, or at least it began that way. Ayan had called me over to help fix his car, something I'd gotten good at over the years. He wasn't home yet, so Mrs. Sana greeted me with her usual soft smile and asked me to start without him. The garage smelled of engine oil and summer dust. I rolled up my sleeves, focusing on the problem, something simple, just a faulty wire. But I could feel her presence nearby, lingering longer than usual. She wasn't talking much, just watching, as if lost in a thought she couldn't shake. Tum hamesha itni kamash rate ho, she asked gently. I smiled slightly. Kam ka whacked, Han. There was a pause. A long one. Then she stepped closer. I didn't notice at first how close she was until her voice dropped, barely above a whisper. I wish you were mine, tonight. My hands froze. For a second, the world felt unreal, like someone had paused time just to test me. I slowly looked up, expecting her to laugh it off, to say it was a joke. But her eyes, they weren't joking. They were tired. Honest. Vulnerable. Mrs. Sana, I started, unsure what to say. She stepped back immediately, as if she had crossed a line she couldn't uncross. Forget I said that, she said quickly, her voice trembling now. I didn't mean. I just. But she had meant it. I could feel it. That evening changed something inside me. Not in a way I wanted, but in a way I couldn't ignore. I went home, but her words stayed with me. They weren't just bold, they were lonely. Deeply lonely. And for the first time, I saw her not just as someone's mother, but as a person carrying silent storms. What do you do when the right thing feels like walking away, but your heart keeps pulling you back towards someone who's already broken? Days passed, but I couldn't shake off that moment. I avoided going to Ayan's house, making excuses, burying myself in work. But some connections don't fade, they wait. Ayan finally showed up at my place one evening. Tu gayab kyan hai? He asked, half annoyed. I brushed it off. Busy But something felt off. He seemed distant too, distracted. Later that night, I found out why. His parents were separating. The news hit me harder than I expected. Suddenly, everything made sense, her voice, her sadness, that moment in the garage. She wasn't crossing a line out of desire, she was drowning, reaching for something, anything, that felt like understanding. The next day, I went back. Not as someone confused. But as someone who finally understood. She opened the door, surprised to see me. There was hesitation in her eyes. I came to fix the car, I said quietly. She nodded, stepping aside. This time, the silence between us wasn't heavy, it was careful. After a while, I spoke. What you said that day. I didn't misunderstand it. But I think I understand why you said it. She looked at me, her eyes already glistening. I know you're hurting, I continued. But I'm not the answer to that pain. And you deserve something real, not something built from loneliness. Tears rolled down her face, but she didn't turn away. I didn't want to feel this way, she whispered. I know, I said softly. In that moment, there was no tension, no confusion, just two people standing at a crossroads, choosing what was right over what was easy. I stayed that day, not as anything more, but as someone who listened. Someone who respected her pain without taking advantage of it. Weeks later, things slowly began to settle. She found strength in herself again. Ayan started healing too, unaware of the storm that had almost changed everything. And me? I learned something that day. Love isn't always about holding on. Sometimes, it's about stepping back, choosing respect over desire, clarity over confusion, and doing what protects hearts instead of breaking them further. Because not every whispered confession is meant to be fulfilled. Some are meant to be understood, and gently let go. Hook. Months passed, and I thought that chapter of my life had quietly closed, until one evening, a single knock on my door brought everything rushing back, only this time, nothing felt the same. The night was unusually calm. A soft breeze drifted through the open window as I sat alone, trying to focus on work but failing, like always when memories decide to return uninvited. Then came the knock. Not loud. Not urgent. But something about it felt familiar. When I opened the door, my breath caught for a moment. It was her. Mrs. Sanaa stood there, but she didn't look the same. Not broken. Not lost. There was a quiet confidence in her eyes now, a strength I hadn't seen before. "Can I come in?" she asked gently. I stepped aside without a word. She walked in slowly, taking in the space as if she was stepping into a part of my life she had never truly seen before. "I hope I'm not disturbing you," she said. "You're not," I replied, though my heart was already racing. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. But this silence, it was different from before. It wasn't filled with confusion or tension, it was calm, like both of us had already fought our battles and survived. "I wanted to thank you," she finally said. "For what?" "For not taking advantage of me that day," she said, her voice steady but emotional. "For seeing me, not as a moment, but as a person." I didn't know what to say. "You were right," she continued. "I was lost. I thought I needed someone else to fill that emptiness. But I didn't. I needed to find myself again." I nodded slowly, feeling a quiet relief inside me. "I've started working again," she said, a small smile forming. "Things are still not perfect, but they're better." "That's good," I said sincerely. She looked at me for a moment, then added softly, "And I'm not here to repeat what happened before." I felt something inside me ease. "I'm here because I didn't want that moment to be the last thing between us." I understood. Because some connections, even when they cross dangerous lines, don't deserve to end in silence. They deserve closure, or maybe, something healthier. We talked for a long time that night, not about that moment, but about life, struggles, healing. For the first time, there was no hidden meaning behind her words, no confusion behind my thoughts. Just honesty. Before leaving, she paused at the door. "You're a good person," she said. "Don't ever let life change that." I smiled slightly. "You too." As she walked away, I realized something important. What we had wasn't love in the way stories usually describe it. It wasn't meant to be. But it mattered. Because sometimes, the most meaningful relationships are the ones that teach you who you are, without asking you to lose yourself in the process. And as I closed the door that night, I didn't feel unfinished anymore. I felt at peace. Because not every story needs a romantic ending to be beautiful. Some endings are better when they're built on respect, growth, and the quiet understanding that we chose the right path, even when it wasn't the easiest one.